seems like, especially in those days, when someone gets saved, you think everything's going to be fine. Like
Yes.
every problem is now solved, and yet
Right.
it really is a process, isn't it? And sometimes
Yeah.
we find that out the hard way. The people
Yep.
aren't ready to change or aren't willing to change.
Right. And I mean, at that time, having been raised in a very strict evangelical kind of background, it was just like, this is all kind of like crazy. I don't know what to do with all of this, you know, and
Suddenly
I
you're
was thinking,
a mom of 2 kids. Suddenly you're
yeah,
dealing with an alcoholic husband that sounds like you didn't even know he was an alcoholic when you got married.
no, I mean, it was all, I mean, this was like, I was so naive. There's a good Scottish word is Gaelic. Gaelic. It means being just naive, you know.
Gaelic?
Gaelic, yeah. And he used to call me that. You're Gaelic. I got pregnant within the first year, and Rebecca came along, you know, and that was I was depressed because I Lord, I don't really want to bring a child into this mess, you know. And yet that was something I needed. I certainly wasn't going to abort, you know, that was the last thing. But I mean, I could understand to some degree why women go through that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just thought, oh Lord, how are you going to help me get through this? You know, and then, I mean, and then 5 years later, Jonathan comes along, and that was a mess up because I was on birth control.
Oh wow!
But God had other plans.
God had some gifts and blessings planned, despite what you were in the middle of.
That's right.
And I can say that because I know both your kids, and what incredible kids, what incredible grown-ups they are, both of them in their own right. It's remarkable. Yeah.
You know, we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus. So I'm thankful for that. And just being able to come back to this whole thing with Joseph and dreams and stuff, you know, it's very meaningful to me because of some of the things that I've gone through. And
you needed to get out of the relationship because you didn't feel the kids were safe, right?
No, I mean, I wasn't safe. I mean, when Jonathan was, and when I was carrying him in the womb, you know, my husband was going to strangle me, and I thought I was going to die. So,
did he actually have his hands on your neck and was beginning to strangle you?
Yep.
How did you get out of that situation?
He suddenly just released his hands and just said, "Oh, I don't want to be accused of strangling a pregnant woman."
Yeah, like it's about what might happen to him, kind of a thing.
Right. Yeah.
I did want to highlight that you've got your master's and became a Christian therapist, and that you've been a practicing therapist for quite a few years, right?
Over 20.
Yeah, which is awesome. All right, let's get back to so you're in an impossible situation, and your life is in danger.
Right. And I get a warning dream from the Lord, which was probably my first prophetic dream. And he tells me, you need to flee, just like Joseph and Mary had to flee, you know, to go to Egypt. And so 2 days later, I'm flying out of Edinburgh, escaping with the kids. And then 3 hours later, my husband comes because he found out where I was and was going to slap an interdict on me to say that I couldn't leave the country with the children, and I would have been stuck there. I mean, thankfully, God had already planned out, you know, the district nurse I had witnessed to, she became a Christian. She was the one that provided the money for me to Wow. I mean, it's just incredible how God just put everything together for me to escape, you know.
So God gave you it out and you took it.
Yes.
And you followed his direction to leave.
Yes.
And therefore you and your children could survive. And
Right.
and you moved back to the States, and you've been a single mom since then.
Yep. Yep.
How
I
was
have.
that then? How was it? How was that hard?
Yes.
Probably a lot easier than it would have been if you hadn't been able to get away. But
Right. Because I mean, I'm just so thankful that the Lord allowed me to escape like that, because I had to apply for, welfare, food stamps, Medicaid, all of that. But then here's the redeeming part about all of that, because once I got my master's from seminary, my first job out of seminary was with Family Tree, and their focus was on domestic violence, child abuse, and homelessness. So I would take women out of the shelter and put them into transitional housing. So here again, all of the experience of what I was going through as a single mom was paying off. And I can say to them, I've been there in your shoes. I know what it's like, but you can survive and you can thrive. And I would sometimes stand with these women as they apply for food stamps or Medicaid or whatever.
because you'd done it.
Because I'd done it.
Yeah. And they could trust you.
Yes.
That's
So
awesome.